Hi there, I'm Rodger, Sir Rodger Rose. I've got a license to thrill, read and dream. So thank you for joining another Powwow read. You have caught me in a mesmerising part. I'm sneaking behind a beautiful tree, a trunk actually, and I just thought I'd come here to open my lovely present which I've got from my dear Auntie Arlene and Jarlath, my uncle. Can't forget Jarlath, you cannot forget a name like that. Dara and Neevy Weevy, so thank you for that. So let's open it. I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's a bag, if it's, oh my gosh, it's not that. It's only a real book. Get your beastly eyes on that baby. Okay, so this is, you may have heard, I've heard before, I have, is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and this is The Last Straw. And this author is called Jeff Kinney, and he has written many and many books. So let's start reading. Very excited, very busy today in the park, very busy. Here we go. Nothing more frustrating. It's a humid day today. There is nothing more frustrating than too much water vapor in the air. January, here we go. Right, can we see? Yes. January, New Year's Day. You know, you're supposed to come up with a list of resolutions at the beginning of the year to try to make yourself a better person. Well, the problem is, it's not easy for me to think of ways to improve myself because I'm already pretty much one of the best people I know. So this year, my resolution is to try and help other people improve. I like that. I really like that, okay? So let's focus. So this year my resolution is to try and help other people improve, but the thing I'm finding out is that some people don't really appreciate it when you're trying to be helpful. I think you should work on chewing your potato chips more quietly. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Now, one thing I've noticed right off the bat is that the people in my family are doing a lousy job sticking to their New Year's resolutions. Reminds me of someone familiar. Mom, she was going to start to the gym today, but she spent the whole afternoon watching television. And Dad said he was gonna go on a strict diet, but after dinner I caught him out in the garage stuffing his face with brownies. There he is there. Look at that. Even my little brother Manny couldn't stick with his resolution. Manny, oh my god. This morning he told everyone that he's a big boy and he's giving up his pacifier for good. Then he threw his favourite binky in the trash. Well, that New Year's resolution didn't even last a full minute. The only person in my family who didn't come up with a resolution is my older brother Rodger, and that's a pity because his list should be about 1.5 miles long. Next one, next page. So, I decided to come up with a program to help Rodger to become a better person. I called my plan 3 strikes and you're out. The basic idea was that every time I saw Rodger messing up, I'd mark a little X on his chart. Well, Rodger got all 3 strikes before I even had a chance to decide what you're out meant. And there he is. Anyway, I'm starting to wonder if I should just bag my resolution too. It's a lot of work and so far I haven't really made any progress. Besides, after I reminded Mom for like the billionth time to stop chewing her potato chips so loud, she made a really good point. She said, everyone can't be as perfect as you, Gregory. And from that I've seen so far, I think she's right. Thursday. Dad is giving this diet thing another try. And that's bad news for me. He's gone about 3 days without eating any chocolate and he's been super cranky. The other day, after Dad woke up and told me to get ready for school, I accidentally fell back to sleep. Believe me, that's the last time I will make that mistake. And there we go. Part of the problem is that Dad always wakes me up before Mum's out of the shower. So I know I still have like 10 minutes before I need to get out of bed for real. Lovely little illustrations there. Illustrations, look at those, lovely. Yesterday I came up with a pretty good way to get some extra sleep time without making Dad mad. After he woke up, I took all of my blankets down the hall with me and waited outside the bathroom for my turn in the shower. Then I lay down right on top of the heater vent, and when the furnace was blowing, the experience was even better than being in bed. The problem was the heat only stayed on for about 5 minutes at a time. So when the furnace wasn't running, I was just lying there on this cold piece of metal. So cold. This morning, while I was waiting for Mom to be done with her shower, I remembered someone gave her a bathrobe for Christmas. So I went into her closet and I got it. Let me just say that one of the smartest moves I've ever made. Wearing that thing was like being wrapped in a big fluffy towel, and that just came out of the dryer. In fact, I liked it so much I even wore it after my shower. I think Dad might have been jealous. He didn't come up with the robe idea first, because when I came to the kitchen table, he seemed extra grumpy. Morning! I tell you, women have the right idea with this bathrobe thing. Now I'm wondering what else I'm missing out on. I just wish I had asked for my own robe for Christmas, because I'm sure Mum is gonna make me give hers back. I struck out on gifts again this year. I knew I was in for a rough day, and when I came downstairs on Christmas morning and the only presents in my stocking were a stick of deodorant and a travel dictionary, I guess once you're in middle school, grown-ups decide you're too old for toys or anything actually fun. But then they still expect you to be all excited when you open the lame gifts that they give you. I'll help you get a jump start on algebra. Most of my gifts this year were books, clothes. The closest thing I got to a toy was a present from Uncle Charlie. Now when I unwrapped Uncle Charlie's gift, I didn't even know what it was supposed to be. It was this big plastic ring with a net attached to it. Wow. Uncle Charlie explained that it was a laundry hoop for my bedroom. He said I was supposed to hang the laundry hoop on the back of my door and it would make putting away my dirty clothes fun. At first I thought it was a joke, but then I realised Uncle Charlie was serious. So I had to explain to him that I don't actually do my own laundry. I told him I just throw my dirty clothes on the floor and Mum picks them up and takes them downstairs to the laundry. Then a few days later everything comes back to me in nice folded piles. I told Uncle Charlie he should just return the laundry hoop and give me cash so I could buy something I'd actually use. That's when Mum spoke up. She told Uncle Charlie she thought the laundry hoop was a great idea. I don't think so. I don't think so. Then she said that from now on I'd be doing my own laundry. So basically it ends up that Uncle Charlie got me a chore for Christmas. It really stinks that I've got so much crummy gifts this year. I put in a lot of effort buttering people up for the past few months and I thought it would pay off on Christmas. Now that I'm responsible for my own laundry, I guess I'm kind of glad I got a bunch of clothes. I might actually make it through the whole school year before I run out of clean stuff to wear. Wow. Here we go. Monday, when me and Rowley got to our bus stop today, we found a nasty surprise. There was a piece of paper taped to our street sign and it said that effective today our bus route was rezoned, and what that means is now we have to walk to school. Here we go. Well, I'd like to talk to the genius who came up with that idea, because our street is almost a quarter of a mile from the school. Me and Rowley had to run to make it to school on time today, and what really stunk was when our regular bus passed us by and it was full of kids from Worley Streets, the neighbourhood right next to ours. The Whirly Street kids made monkey noises when they passed us, which was really annoying because that's exactly what we used to do when we passed them. I'll tell you one reason it's a bad idea to make kids walk to school. These days, teachers give you so much homework that with all the books and papers you have to carry home, your backpack ends up weighing like 100 pounds. And if you want to see what kind of an effect that has on kids over time, all you have to do is look at Rodger and some of his friends. Speaking of teenagers, Dad scored a pretty big victory today. The baddest teenager in our neighbourhood is this kid named Lenwood Heath. And he's kind of like Dad's arch enemy. Dad had probably called the cops on Lenwood about 50 times. Dag, nab, you rotten teenagers! I guess Lenwood's parents got sick of his act because they sent him off to military academy. You'd think that would have made Dad pretty happy, but I don't think he'll be satisfied until every teenager on the planet gets sent off to juvenile hall or Alcatraz or something, and that includes Rodger. Yesterday, Mom and Dad gave Rodger some money to buy books so he could study for the SATs, but Rodger spent the money on a tattoo instead. I've still got a little time before I turn into a teenager. But the minute I do, I guarantee you Dad will be looking for the first chance to ship me out. Monday. For the past week or so, Manny has been getting out of bed every night and coming downstairs. Now, instead of putting him right back to bed, Mom lets Manny sit with us and watch TV. It's really not fair because when Manny is with us, I'm not allowed to watch any of the shows I like. All I can say is, when I was a kid, there wasn't any of this getting out of bed stuff. I did it once or twice, but Dad put a stop to it real quick. There was this book Dad used to read to me every night called The Giving Tree. It was a really good book, but the back of it had a picture of the author. This guy named Shel Silverstein. Nice name. Okay, let's go. But Shel Silverstein looks more like a burglar or a pirate than a guy who should be writing books for kids. Look at him. The Giving Tree. And Dad must have known that picture kind of freaked me out because one night after I got out of bed, Dad did say, if you get out of bed again tonight, you'll probably run into Shel Silverstein in the hallway. That really did the trick. Ever since then, I still don't go out of bed at night, even if I really need to use the bathroom. I don't think Mom and Dad read any Shel Silverstein books, which probably explains why he keeps getting up after they put him to bed. Now, I've heard some of the stories Mom and Dad read to Manny, and let me just say that the people who wrote these books really have a racket going on. First of all, there are hardly any words in them, so I'm sure it only takes about 5 seconds to write one. Silly bear yawning, silly bear sad, silly bear sleeping, silly bear glad, the end. And that is what a wondrous book so far. I'm going to have to stop there. 15-minute limit, you know this. A sensational book. I didn't want to stop. It's a Diary of the Wimpy Kid, the last straw. Hopefully it won't be the last time you read this book. It'll be the first of many. Okay, so thank you for watching and listening. Thank you to my Aunt Arlie, Jarlath, What a Man, Dara and Neevy Weevy. So thank you for that wonderful present. It takes a special kind of person to give presents. Okay, so as I always say, keep on reading and keep on dreaming.